The CEO of a cosmetic company in Taiwan hosts a benefit concert to raise funds for Syrian refugees. We meet a young muscular dystrophy sufferer who was encouraged by his teacher to open up and accept others' help. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in Taiwan. The CEO of Altamoda Cosmetics Group was inspired to host a benefit concert to raise funds for Syrian refugees. As the concert was hosted at the Tzu Chi Banqiao grounds, many performers and Tzu Chi volunteers came together to ensure the success of the event. Let's take a look.
Each child is the apple of their parents' eye, yet due to the civil war in Syria, children there have lost their health.
战争化学武器让许多殉国孩童出生时有其疝气、无肛症，此即资助医药费、安排手术。
Tzu Chi Banqiao Ground hosts a benefit concert to raise awareness of the plight to Syrian refugees. Making this opportunity possible is the CEO of Altamoda, Chen Weizhong.
The journey to freedom for the Syrian refugees is really difficult. We want to use this benefit concert to inspire the workers' heart of compassion. When they see how difficult others have it, they will be moved to act and help the less fortunate.
Leading his employees to do some good, the CEO humbles himself. By seeing the CEO's deep respect, the employees understand his sincerity.
I am very moved. I think it's great. He's leading us to do good deeds.
Lighting up the heart lamp and singing their prayer song, love and compassion of the Taiwanese citizens are gathered here to help Tzu Chi send more assistance to Syrian refugees in need of care. To ensure the success of this benefit concert, the performers had to especially set time out to rehearse, with young people making up the bell and drum performance team.
At the beginning, when I found out I couldn't go on vacation, I was a bit unhappy. But after performing, I am quite attached to my part. I'm happy I could be here to perform alongside everyone. It's quite moving.
It is said that young people direct what's mainstream in society. So if us young people are doing charity and compassionate things, then doesn't that make things mainstream? That is my theory.
Meanwhile, volunteers are busy making snacks for the audience, as well as ensuring other details are looked after.
We have mobilized traffic and transportation teams, live-in and kitchen volunteers. We're all here to ensure the audience comes here and feel right at home.
This may not be the treatment one gets at a five-star hotel, but the love and effort put into each detail expresses the care Tzu Chi has for all sentient beings.
In China, Tzu Chi volunteers in Beijing have been caring for a mother-son pair. Since this family's furniture is very old, the volunteers have delivered a set of second-hand furniture to them. In addition, the volunteers also painted their house, providing them with a more comfortable living environment. A group of volunteers drive from Beijing's downtown to the suburbs. They're welcomed by a mother and son pair who are Tzu Chi's care recipients.
The first time we went, there was no place to sit. All of the furniture and supplies do not match. They've turned the kitchen into their living room.
The son Wei Qizhe is now attending a key school, getting a good education. The volunteers have come to paint the place with Qizhe's favorite color, light blue, as a gift. The mother and son pair also joined them to do the painting.
Since their furniture are really old, we want to get better ones for them. A Tzu Chi sister has some extra furniture with good quality. Therefore, we thought about bringing over this furniture.
The set of furniture include bed frame, desk, and the sofa. Before the volunteers leave, Qizhe insists on donating the coins he has saved in a coin bank.
Your love is combined with our great love. The money is donated to create merit.
To deal with the flood disasters that are ravaging central China, city volunteers in Changsha have started their relief work since July 2nd. For 3 consecutive days, they went from shelter to shelter to find out what the flood victims need.
The whole street is underwater and all the stores on the first floor are damaged. This is Lanling town, the worst damaged place in Changsha, Hunan province. The flood victims can only be placed in shelters.
There are hundreds of families in my neighborhood. We've lived here for 20 years, but we have never seen anything like it.
The flood came to my neck. We've been living here for 3 days. Our meals and clothes were given to us from a charity group.
To deal with such large-scale floods, Tzu volunteers in Changsha started their assistance to help the flood victims since July 2nd. They go to shelters to give out daily supplies and to console victims.
When I left home, I only brought 1 article of clothing to change into. Then you brought some shampoo and many food and daily supplies. So I want to thank you. Thank you.
This passing of great love will not only give a deep impression to everyone, but it will also have some good influences to their future.
After you came here, you inspire people through these small activities and console the victims. I feel the assistance on the spiritual level really touches me.
The volunteers' love gives strength to the flood victims, who also hope to return home as early as possible so they can rebuild their homes.
City volunteers in Myanmar have been promoting a rice donation event in Yangon. Many local farmers joined Tzu to save rice each day to help those in need. Recently, more and more people from other places also joined this effort. In Bago province, a volunteer invited 60 housewives to participate in this event. In addition, the founder of Anthek Monastery School also encouraged his students to save a handful of rice each day to help the less fortunate.
Each one of the children holds a white container in front of them and walks orderly into the classroom. Actually, they are coming to donate their rice banks. 51 students donate a total of 115 kilograms of rice to Tzu.
I took the rice bank home and asked my mom to put a handful of rice into the bank before she cooked every time. I told her by doing this, we could do good deeds. My mom recognized this idea, so we did this.
2 months ago, Tzu helped Anthek Monastery School, which is located in the remote village of Bago province, build classrooms to ensure this school has enough classrooms for students. To repay this love to Tzu, this school hosts a rice donation event.
When we had difficulties, Tzu volunteers pitched in to help us. Now other places also have difficulties. Though we are unable to get there, we can at least donate rice to Tzu to help more people.
Among the participants of this event is DaAi. After witnessing the positive impacts of the rice donation in Yangon City, she has invited 60 housewives in the Bagong region to help the needy by saving rice.
In the beginning, I did not dare to promote the rice donation event, and I didn't know how to introduce this activity to the villagers either. So I started to introduce Tzu to my neighbors. What surprised me is that everyone was willing to join this effort.
I think it is great to save a handful of rice because I am doing a good deed. I will continue to do this and fill the rice bank each month.
Each month, on the day when the participants come to donate their rice, DaAi will introduce Tzu to them and give them sign language performances. It is hoped that this power of goodness will continue to spread throughout the villages in Myanmar.
Ninth grader Zheng Yian has received the Presidential Educational Award this year. He suffers from muscular dystrophy and had closed himself off to the world in the past. Thanks to his teacher's words of wisdom, Zheng finally opened up his heart to accept help from others. He dreams of becoming a lawyer to help the disadvantaged.
A student at New Taipei City's Zhongxiao Junior High, Zheng Yian's hands tremble when he's writing as he suffers from muscular dystrophy. His teacher once wanted to decrease his homework load, but Zheng insisted on the same amount.
I really hate accepting help from others. I don't want to trouble others. I can do it myself.
Walking on the treadmill to strengthen his muscles is Zheng's weekly rehabilitation. He wants to do everything on his own because he doesn't want his family to worry about him.
Actually, when he was in elementary, I believe his parents divorced and he went to live with his mother. However, later his mother went to work in Kaohsiung, and so he came to live with his grandmother. His grandmother is older and isn't in good health. Once when the school team went on an outside competition, he fell and he wouldn't accept help from me. He always feels he must get up on his own.
In the end, Zheng closed himself off. Without friends, he didn't much like going to school either. Music became his only outlet until one day his junior high teacher gave him pearls of wisdom.
You must try to accept help from your peers. When you are better, you can help others as well.
Once I saw that he had a cute charm. Then on my birthday, he gave the charm to me. He works hard on his piano practice, even though he doesn't have formal lessons. When I listen to him playing music, I feel it gives me a lot of positive energy.
After a while, his peers discover that Zheng is actually very helpful towards others and has a great heart of compassion. His biggest dream is to become a lawyer to help the disadvantaged.
In our society, there are many people lost in corners that go unnoticed. In Taiwan, I feel social benefits for those who suffer from mental or physical disability that are not perfect. I hope through my job as a lawyer, I can help them solve that problem so they may have a better path in life.
Though Zheng's gait is slightly different from others, he doesn't mind people staring. He continues on his way, ready to soar. In an essay to himself 3 years into the future, he says,
When setbacks happen, don't be sad. Instead, move forward full speed ahead and be the best you can be. Even if your physical disability has caused you problems in life, I hope you keep your mind open and see things from a different point of view and observe how this makes you better than before.
In Taiwan, a 6-year-old girl, Nini, who suffers from cerebral palsy, has a mobility problem. Despite her hardship, her parents accompany her as she practices walking every day. At her graduation ceremony, she was able to walk up the stage to receive the Mayor Award. In order for her to take the simple steps, she has practiced walking 480,000 steps. Here's more.
Her hands are so weak that she cannot even hold a ball. Suffering from cerebral palsy, Nini, who cannot talk, also has mobility problem. Rehabilitation has been hard for Nini. Despite the pain, she insists on practice walking every day. With the companionship of her mother, Nini makes progress with every step.
She tells me that she wants to practice walking. I said yes, because I will help her accomplish everything she wants to do.
Whenever she makes a little progress, that is great encouragement for us parents.
At Nini's graduation ceremony, she walks up the stage to receive her award. In order to take the simple steps, she has practiced walking 480,000 steps.
She has to work very hard to take the steps. In fact, she smiled very happily on that day.
As Nini gets ready to face a new stage of her life, her parents hope she'll have the courage and optimism to embrace a brighter future.
As summer vacation begins, city volunteers in Taoyuan held their last parent-child class in Sanmingboro. At the event, parents and children expressed their appreciation for the class. Meanwhile, the Cishao class in Hsinchu also held its last session for the school year. Let's join them there.
To prevent young people from getting addicted to drugs, the last Cishao class in Hsinchu includes an anti-drug play. Guo Jianling, a 10th grader, plays a young drug addict who regrets his wrongdoings.
I want to tell everyone about the effects of abusing drugs. Personally, I do not take drugs. However, I hope that Taiwan can become a drug-free country.
At the last class, the attendees also deliver their best wishes for the graduating students. Many Cishaos who will soon attend college talk about how they've enjoyed this class.
After graduating, I will attend college. I hope during this period of time, I can find my future direction. I'm also glad that I got to know everyone here.
Besides the Cishaos, the students and parents of a Tzu parent-child class in Taoyuan have also held their last class. The afternoon rain did not stop the parents and their children from attending the last session of the Tzu parent-child class.
Since some of the children in the community do not go to Jinsi Ho, we come out to learn and grow with them.
Tzu volunteers in Taoyuan had accepted Sanmingboro Head's invitation to hold their parent-child class in the community. In the past year, the classes included tea ceremony, sign language song performances, lessons on filial piety, and environmental concepts. Both the parents and children have enjoyed the classes.
Coming here, I get to learn from other parents. This is great help for me.
I've learned a lot of knowledge. I hope in the future I can learn even more new knowledge.
Seeing the students enjoy the lessons motivates the volunteers to continue holding this class.
Last year, Typhoon Napatak caused great damage to Taiwan's sugar apple crop. The Council of Agriculture estimated the losses to be $16.4 million. Farmers say the event was a challenge from the heavens, and they have vowed to make a comeback. This year, they've worked even harder on their orchards, taking great care in soil preparation, pruning, fertilization, and even disaster prevention measures. Here's our report.
它的公花花粉，我们用毛笔啊，譬如这个是毛笔，它在粘这个粘连这个上面就会粘着哈。
Through artificial pollination, sugar apple is effectively cultivated, with many farmers becoming very busy just before the annual Dragon Boat Festival.
With these conditions, how many harvests do you think we'll get with sugar apples this year? I think about 2, one in summer and one in winter.
Sugar apple is Taidong's most famous agricultural output. From Chulu to Taimali, an area north and south which covers some 30 kilometers, there are nearly 5,000 hectares of sugar apple, with an annual output of $98.4 million. Of this, the pineapple sugar apple fetches about $2.3 per caddy, and 1 hectare of land potentially earning $2,000, with exports reaching $19 million. To achieve such dazzling sales, one must rely upon some help from the heavens. Winds from Typhoon Napartak swept through the sugar apple orchard and knocked over many fruit trees. Taidong County said that 4,200 hectares were damaged, and the whole season's harvest was destroyed, which was worth $18.4 million.
With no harvest this year, we may need to wait until Lunar New Year, but the harvest may be quite limited and uncertain.
The Premier said the compensation must be delivered to farmers within a month. The compensation is $3,000 per hectare, an unprecedented subsidy.
After the disaster, sugar apple trees that weren't knocked over were pruned, with many destroyed and needing replanting, with such trees requiring 3 years to harvest at the earliest. Many farmers are expecting a very bitter year now.
收成就比较差啦，这样。
The harvest is very poor, maybe only 10%, which means we can't recoup the cost of labor and fertilizer.
肥料钱都没有。
In addition to sugar apple losses, Taimali's jade purse lychee also suffered, leading to a harvest that was just 10% of previous years. Farmers gave up harvesting this crop this year and are looking for new practices. Some Taidong farmers who were better off took the advice of some experts and used searchlights on their crops 1 month after the storm, hoping their trees could flower again and not miss a harvest.
If the fruit trees are affected or harmed by the typhoon, then there will be almost no harvest this year. We hope to prune the trees and utilize during the night to try and make them bloom again.
Sugar apples need a long period of daylight for them to bloom and bear fruit, so these lights attempt to deceive the fruit tree. Chrysanthemum are actually quite different, as they need short periods of daylight, such as autumn and winter, to naturally bloom. Zhanghua, Tianwei, Yongjing, and other places try to inhibit their flowering so that the stems grow longer and they can fetch a better price. Not only needing lots of sunlight, the sugar apple tree is also quite weak and has a hard time resisting the wind. This is especially true of the pineapple sugar apple, which is more top-heavy than the traditional sugar apple tree.
Its roots are very shallow and are probably only 40 to 50 centimeters in width, so the typhoon can easily knock it over, as we need to set up horizontal wires to support the branches so they can survive strong winds.
These horizontal wires don't come cheap, as for Taidong farmers, the cost for 1 hectare would be about $29,500. This leads many farmers to still take a wait-and-see approach. Automatic sprinklers can also be lifted higher to spray these trees and the fruit. This may be necessary because of the number of typhoons hitting Taiwan each year. Also cause foehn winds can quickly dry out immature sugar apples. These sprinklers can be a savior for this fruit.
After the water sprinkler is turned on, the water becomes a mist, increasing the relative humidity of the air, which can reduce the temperature.
Agriculture is relying upon the elements and the climate to produce a harvest. Unfortunately, agricultural production not only has to be of top quality, but also has to be able to resist extreme weather to succeed. For this reason, the government plans to launch agricultural insurance in the near future. But for now, Taidong farmers are racking their brains to revive their sugar apple crop. In our next episode, we see how farmers are turning to traditional crops to find rebirth.
Tima Hong Kong recently held a free health checkup in Kowloon's YWCA Center to safeguard the health of seniors. A total of 108 residents seized the occasion to receive the much-needed checkups. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.